Don't worry, the spoon mic is not going anywhere. We're just having some technical difficulties today, so you've got my mounted mic for today. Let's jump into the video. So we're finally in the new house and I'm starting to feel a bit better, so hopefully can keep moving in the right direction content-wise. But today we have some huge news regarding the king of LoL esports, Faker, and not even I saw this coming. Last year, in alignment with Doran's signing, the other Tier 1 members also underwent contract extensions, except Faker, who was already signed until November 18th of this year. Owner and Carrier signed 2 years until 2026, and Guma and Doran's expire at the end of this year. Despite Tier 1 still being a very strong and competitive team this year, Doran hasn't quite stood out with the same level of shine Zeus did as part of the same roster. And Guma, while playing well currently, had his own starting issues with the roster earlier in the year, going back and forth with Smash, while Tier 1 and the Korean community battled very publicly about the reasoning for one or the other being chosen. But one Tier 1 constant despite his age and career span is of course Faker, who even though he's currently playing in his 12th year is still recognized as a top 2 mid laner domestically in the LCK and one of the best in the world. Being born on May 7th, 1996 makes Faker 29 and 2 months, shattering the myth that age is as big a factor as people have thought in the past with esports competitors. But there were certain concerns about his longevity after he battled arm and nerve pain in mid-2023. This pain even resulted in him taking a medically induced benching and was a major contributing factor to Tier 1 taking a following 9 consecutive losses with an inexperienced Poby replacing him, just emphasizing how much of a pillar Faker is to his team operating at the level that they do.
It's kind of hard to go in though.
TP coming in.
Oh, Faker! And he puts a tower! Oh my god, he just won the game! He just won the game! That's it! They can end! They can end the game! It's over! He just won the game! It's over!
Faker still here. Faker looking for that flank. Will seal away the quickness from on guess. Shalom flashes in, finds 2. Equalizer on the back line as well. As Faker is not off this earth. He finds the engage. He finds everything T1 were looking for.
No flash, Draven's dead.
Presses his arm button. Guma just dies immediately.
Yeah, well played by Genji.
And Genji, it looks like they have done it for game number 1. Massive divide though. And it's
Faker! What the fuck? He just killed 4 of them! What?
Faker!
What?
Well, it's no secret that Faker wanted to keep playing into his 30s, as his father has said, as he has no mandatory military service to attend to thanks to a gold medal at the 2022 Asian Games. Continuing to play at that level, especially as you age and head towards your 15th year of competition in the same team, is uncharted waters as far as League Pro players are concerned. Which is why, with all of this considered, it was a major shock that yesterday morning, Tier 1 LoL announced that Faker has signed on for another 4 years, with his contract ending in 2029. Their announcement tweet says, Faker continues his journey with Tier 1 until 2029. With Faker becoming a symbol of esports beyond League of Legends, Tier 1 is ready for another legendary chapter with him. And here is the fans' reaction after seeing the live announcement of the news. Now, there's a few things I wanted to talk about on the back of this. Firstly, this means his contract will obviously expire when he's 33 and 5 months. The signing of 4 extra years from here is pretty unreal considering he's already one of the oldest pros that still competes. Only Core JJ at 30 and 3 months and Impact at 29 and 7 months are above him. But despite his consistency and longevity, who knows how his performance is going to go throughout his early 30s. The LCK is a different beast compared to the North American leagues where Core JJ and Impact play, and it would have been a lot safer for Tier 1 to sign him for 1 or 2 years and reevaluate intermittently. But they didn't, making the 4-year signing an even bigger deal and a huge shock to the community. But as I said before, Faker is still a leader in mid-game shot calling and playmaking that only comes from his amount of experience. So this deal doesn't particularly come from a place of indecision or uncertainty. And this week just gone, Tier 1 handed Genji their first loss after 27 consecutive series wins, including including taking MSI and EWC 2025 titles, meaning despite losing to Genji multiple times recently, they still have the capacity to take down the best. This loss does come off the back of an extremely rigorous playing schedule though, essentially having 2 tournaments back to back followed by immediate domestic competition, so fatigue definitely could have been a factor in the loss. But then again, it's not like T1 didn't have the same playing schedule. I'm pretty sure they might have even been on the same flight back to Korea. Correct me if I'm wrong. But speaking of EWC is actually a good segue into the next point I wanted to touch on in regard to T1. Last week, they announced their major sponsor partnership to Red Sea Global, a Saudi initiative, furthering Saudi Arabia's reach into global esports. And it was met with skepticism, to say the least. Under the T1 announcement, the most liked tweet read, "Honestly, I'm disappointed with this. Hate to see Faker and T1 player legacy being used this way. Riot and now T1 are constantly exploiting him for more money. Sadly, I won't be purchasing any more jerseys. Also, the logo placement is terrible." This is in reference to the front and center new logo placement that was once held by Ifland. Another said, "Crazy how fast you can trash your legacy. Well played, Faker and T1. These criticisms stem from the heavy controversy of the recent Saudi investment fund allegations of sports washing in esports. If you're wanting more info on that, I speak on it in my last video, which will be linked down below in the description. And with all the funding changes lately to Riot and teams taking on different types of sponsorships like gambling, I won't be surprised if LoL esports and esports as a whole changes and evolves heavily over the next 5 years. But enough about all that. Let's look at some reactions from notable online personalities in response to Faker's re-signing, starting with XQC.
The game has shifted and morphed and evolved and changed in so many ways. To remain at the top means relearning the game so many times and to maintain that. It's not that the man is a fast learner, he's a fast masterer and a master of the stage itself. Stage presence, stage performance, nobody else does it like that. He is better on stage than anywhere else. The stage is home for the man, and that's like nobody else.
That was absolute aura. So that does mean we might get Lost Ratones versus T1 with Faker before he retires. Actually, bro, he's never gonna retire. This is the 53rd trophy. A trophy is for Chovy. I'm so happy this resigned. That's actually really nice. That's really nice. To every League fan who's like, oh my god, when Faker retires, the esports gonna die. Well, what if he just doesn't? What if he just doesn't? Riot Game Studios trying to find any way possible that they can make her skin. Oh my god, to celebrate Faker's 4-year re-signing, we've decided to make a LeBlanc skin. And on top of that, because of how cool the video was, we've also made a Zed skin. Boom, to celebrate. And then also, it's like, think of ideas now! We got 4 years!
Bro, what? How old is Faker anyways? Is bro gonna play League when he's 50 years old or what? Like, how is that guy still the GOAT?
So what do you think about the GOAT keeping LoL esports alive for another 4 years? Honestly, pretty hard to imagine League surviving without Faker, to be honest. So I couldn't be happier to see him stay. Anyway, that'll about do us for the day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another news video very, very soon. Bye!